Have your ad run on our live streaming episodes, linked in the video description and attached to our many hot take clips. The channel is fast growing with thousands of views and subscribers. Don't miss your chance to grow your business on one of the fastest growing platforms on YouTube. Join the family today. This might be risky. Email us at thismightberisky@gmail.com if interested. Hashtag Indeed, hashtag do the right thing.
In the back. All right, boom. All right, man. Listen, man. So the reason how I got to this topic is I made a Facebook post at like 1:00 in the morning, right? And I said, this might be risky, but I'm gonna say it. Men should suffer in silence, right? So I wasn't thinking nothing of it. So it got 1 like, then 2 likes, but the likes stopped growing, but the comments got to almost 200 comments.
Jeez.
A lot of different takes and perspectives about should we suffer in silence, should we not, why, suicide. I mean, a bunch of topics and feelings and emotions stem from that one post. There was some arguments, there was some actual sound logic and reasoning. So I said, well, let's put it on the show. Let's put it on the air. Let's see what we can gain from this conversation. I mean, makes sense.
Yep.
So, all right, let me share my screen real quick. All right. Make sure you guys let me know if you can hear it, you can see it. Good.
I see it.
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of parents are very, very surprised by the statistics.
Oh, jeez.
He's one of the best in his class. I'm like, oh, he's one of the best. So he's not even the best of a group of random 30 random average losers. He's not top 1% in the world at anything. And you're so proud of him. And you're going to sit there and go, wow, great job, great job. And that's why he's never going to become shit. I mean, I smoke cigars, but I know what the fuck I'm doing. Give me a big fat cigar. I'm risking cancer to look like a mafia boss. Fine. I'm not sitting there smoking cigars and going, I can't believe this is bad for me. No, like these fucking vape bullshit children. And what kind of parent lets their 16-year-old vape anyway? If I had a 16-year-old son, he's like, I got a vape. Get the fuck out of here, vape. Do some push-ups.
Whoa.
Can't wait. I've never been to Australia, and I super duper really want to go. One day, when I save up enough money, it's the only reason I haven't been, I can't afford it. When I save up enough money, I really hope I can go to Australia and hang around a bunch of fours with ugly, annoying accents. Want to go to the beach, mate? No, you're a four. No, sorry. Yes, please. Let's go to Bondi Beach, four. Let's go.
I love your broad shoulders.
Yeah, I love broad shoulders on a chick. And every once in a while you're on Instagram and you see some 10 from Sydney. You're like, Australian girls are hot, but it's an illusion. The Gaza. It's a lie. They're all fours. But luckily, I love fours. I want to go to Canada where all the fours are, the snow fours.
Fours. So, are y'all familiar with Andrew Tate?
I've heard of him.
Only recently have I heard about him.
Right.
Okay, so there was just a couple clips, right? You can see how he is, right? He talks about women. They think he's a misogynist. He's been canceled numerous times. He actually in the news now got arrested for what they deemed sex trafficking. He had a house full of women that did cam videos like OnlyFans and things of that nature. He also just recently, I think he subscribes to Islam, so he has like 4 wives, I think. He said he's a top 1%er, has 32 cars. He teaches men how to be men. He had a summit in Romania. Men, it was like 20 guys paid $5,000 to go to try to understand how to get to the top and be in the top 1% and be an alpha male. So just some background. So the question I wanted to start with is there such a thing as toxic masculinity?
Indeed, it is.
Such a thing as toxic masculinity. Now let it marinate a little bit. I know y'all just like to just blurt shit out, so Corey.
Uh, um, I would say yes. I would say that most of the stuff that people associate with toxic masculinity isn't toxic masculinity, but I think at some point we can be so masculine, or the level of masculinity can be toxic, or some of the masculine things that we're preaching can be toxic. So I think it's possible to have toxic masculinity. Yes.
Give me an example, Corey.
Of what would qualify as toxic masculinity?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. That's a good one. I'm not even sure. I guess like anything that like produces like regular negative outcomes. In the form, yeah. if it's something that's gonna produce a negative outcome, it could be toxic masculinity. If it's you know what I'm saying, nigga?
You don't have an example, nigga?
No, nigga, because I don't do toxic masculinity, bro.
That's alarming to me, though, right? You
masculinity,
but you said there is such a thing, but you can't name such thing. That's weird to me, especially coming from you. Yeah, mute. That's what you can do.
No,
Chief,
man, I ain't muting.
Yo. Yo.
Welcome back. Get him out of here. Come on.
My fault. Chief, what you think? Is there such a thing as toxic masculinity?
I definitely think so. I mean, just listening to home, like all of us on the screen right now is listening to homie talking, frowning, like, what is money doing? Like, just it's attitude, it's behavior that's stereotypical of that's negatively impacts men, as in men we are trying to raise, or men who are looking for leadership, or whatever, however you want to look at it. But homie's like, just how he's on the island talking about, yeah, I'll go to the beach. You're a 4. Like, homie, she's a 10 to me. She might be a 4 to you. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, the way he makes it seem is like, and just listening to him for those couple of clips, is like everybody's supposed to agree with what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that in general is toxic. And we're talking about this shorty smoking a vape pen. Like, okay, teach your shorty something. You're gonna slap the vape out the pen and make him do some push-ups. You're gonna get with his homies and still smoke another vape. You dig what I'm saying?
So, what about the first example?
I don't really remember what the first one was. The first one was that
the first one was
that was him smoking a cigar. Talking about, I know what I'm doing to my body. Blah 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 blah.
No, the one it was like your kid is one of the best, one of the top in their class. But if the class is full of mediocrity, why are we praising it? I think it was more attacking this norm now where everybody gets a trophy.
Okay, but I don't think that has anything to do with representation of toxic masculinity, though.
Okay, so you're saying that not praising kids for mediocrity is just everybody should not do that, or do you think that's more of a masculine thing?
I mean, I'm all for positive reinforcement, but we still have to strive to be the absolute best. And if you were best in the class of mediocrity, then it's time to level up and get to a new class and keep chasing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you think the beach of all 4 stating that as a fact was toxic?
I mean, again, that's opinion, though. You know what I'm saying? But the way he labeled it was like it was very impressionistic, if you will. Like the way he was saying is like, you suppose, like his homies over there feeding his ego, like, yeah, 4 broad shoulders. Like every chick in Australia is a 4 with broad shoulders. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're saying that we all couldn't recognize a 4? You think looks are that subjective?
I think looks are that subjective. I can look at a woman and see a 10, and you see a 2.
That's extreme, Pete.
Is it?
That's a 10 and a 2, though.
Okay, so we going strictly off of looks, because there's clearly levels to that shit too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just basic looks.
What I'm saying is, do you think you would see a 10? I could see an 8. But do you think it's gonna go all the way? You could see a 10 and I could see a 2.
That's level of attraction, bro. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, let's put it like this. There's white dudes who don't like black women. You bring the beautiful dark-skinned woman around, and he's not attracted at all.
The good
You know what I'm
thing
saying?
about,
Or vice versa. Black people who don't like white women. She come around, she a dime in their crew, but to us, like, get that regular chick out of here.
what a good thing is, the people of the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia don't matter in this conversation. So
I use that to help validate the point, though.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. But good thing they don't have no taste. You taste the food. All right, Adrian. Is there such a thing as toxic masculinity?
No, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's nothing about masculinity that's toxic at all. And what people do is we just come up with our own. That's why Corey couldn't define it. You know what I'm saying? We just make stuff up, put stuff together because it's a buzzword. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing toxic about masculinity and what it's supposed to be. Now, what people are calling toxic masculinity is something different, right? So they may be controlling, right? They may be a bunch of other things, but masculinity in itself is not toxic.
So you wouldn't define Money's behavior as toxic? The one we do, the videos we just watched?
Some of it is, but I wouldn't define it as masculine either. You see what I'm saying?
I see where you're going with that. Okay.
You done, eh?
Yeah, I'm done. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for Adrian for later. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for Otis.
Anybody got a response to that? One of the fellas?
To toxic masculinity?
That or what Adrian said?
Yeah, definitely. Bro.
Hold on, let me unmute for this.
Yeah, go ahead, unmute that mic, bro.
Okay.
Look, you're off the track with this one, okay, bro. I'm gonna give you an example of toxic masculinity and why it does exist. Toxic masculinity is basically teaching boys and men that they can't express their emotions openly, that they have to be tough all the time. And the moment they do, they're soft, they're feminine, they're weak. That's toxic. That's one example of toxic masculinity.
Right, but again, that's just like saying I could just make up a definition and just call it anything. What that sounds like is somebody who lacks wisdom, who lacks understanding. You see what I'm saying? That's not, and masculine means you're assertive, right? Like that's leadership. That takes wisdom, right? That takes strategy. That's what masculine is.
Masculine means that you're assertive.
Yeah, part of being masculine is assertiveness.
Wait, so as an assertive female, that's masculine. So when I'm assertive, am I being masculine when I'm being assertive, in your opinion?
Yeah, it is more of a masculine trait.
Mm-hmm.
Being masculine, it's nothing wrong with a woman being masculine too, right? Like you need a balance of both. But you shouldn't be majority assertive in every single thing you do.
Of course not. There's a proper balance to everything.
But you definitely need a piece in being able to move in and out of it, just like a man needs to be able to move in and out of his feminine energy as well too. There's a time and place for it.
But when are black men taught to even tap into femininity? When?
You said what?
When in time is black men taught to even tap into a 1% of their feminine, because you have both within, but you push one down and raise the other one up, like you're not imbalanced. So when because I don't hear it. So I'm asking you, when, as far as black men, when are they taught that they can, hey, you can even just use 1% of the feminine energy that resides within you?
Okay, so first you switched into another question, so that means I won the first one about the toxic masculinity, right? So
look, don't do no ghetto debate style shit. But this is we're not doing no ghetto debate. This is real talk, because there are men out here who need to hear this, and I'm pretty sure there's men in you guys' circles that need to hear this, because it's not discussed. It's discussed in a laughable manner, and the toxic masculinity is the reason why niggas is out here killing 4,000 a year.
I don't think that's
it's part of the reason, because the toxic masculinity in you is to the point where, hey, you can't even apologize if you bump into the dude in the club. You can't even apologize to the dude that you walking past in the store. Look, I was just outside, right? And it was actually a woman.
But quick story though, because your story be long as shit.
A dude bumped into a woman. Respect the story though. A dude bumped into a woman.
Hurry it up.
And she got upset because of a bump. Niggas are dying over like stepping on shoestrings.
Wait.
But that's not more like respect, not masculinity. Like, it's...
No, because you have to understand what. Okay, number one, there are no real elders who teach black men how to be black men and how to be masculine. On
friend, and we out.